Welcome, dear students. Today we shall continue with the lesson Force and Pressure. Today, the first topic which we are going to learn is inertia. But to understand it, let's get back to Newton's first law of motion. A stationary object on which no force is acting remains stationary. An object in motion continues to move with same speed and direction when no force is acting on the object. This is Newton's first law of motion. In simple words, this means that object tends to keep on doing what they are doing. If they are at rest, they would prefer staying at rest. And if they are moving with a constant velocity, they will continue doing so. This is nothing but inertia. Now let's look at the definition of inertia. Tendency of an object to remain in its existing state is called its inertia. Newton's first law of motion, also called as law of inertia. Now let's look at one example. Take a postcard and keep it on a glass. Keep a 5 rupee coin on it. Now skillfully push the card. When the cardboard is pulled, the coin falls into the glass. This is because the inertia of the coin maintains its state at rest and it falls into the glass due to gravity. Now let's learn some types of inertia. The first we have is inertia of the state of rest. An object in the state of rest cannot change its state of rest due to its inherent property. This property is called the inertia of the state of rest. Now let's understand this statement with the help of an example. When a bus or a train starts suddenly, the passengers standing inside tend to fall backward. This is so because the lower part of his body starts moving with the bus or train, but the upper part tries to remain at rest due to inertia of rest. I hope it is clear, students. The second type which we have is inertia of motion. The inherent property of an object due to which its state of motion cannot change is called its inertia of motion. Let's have a look at the example. When a driver driving a car suddenly applies brake, he gets a jerk in the forward direction. This is because the body was in motion with the moving car, but as he applied the brakes, the lower part of his body tried to remain at rest with the car, whereas the upper part was still in motion. The third type which we have is directional inertia. The inherent property of an object due to which the object cannot change the direction of its motion is called directional inertia. Let's have a look at the example now. If a vehicle in motion along a straight line suddenly turns, the passengers sitting in it are thrown opposite to the direction of turning. Now the next topic which we are going to learn is pressure. You must have observed the tires of two-wheelers and four-wheelers getting pressurized. The air filling machine has a pressure indicating dial or a digital meter showing the digital reading of pressure. This machine fills the pressure to a certain value. You are aware that a force has to be applied for filling air in the bicycle tire with a hand pump. By applying force, air pressure is increased and then the air is pushed into the tire. Are force and pressure related? We will solve this doubt with the help of few activities. Take some sharp pointed nail and push them into a wooden plank by hammering on their heads. Now take a nail and hold its head on the plank and hammer it down from the pointed end. What does this simple experiment tell? The nail easily penetrates into the wood from its pointed end. From this, you will notice that when a force is applied on the head of the nail, it is easy to hammer it into the plank. It is easy to cut vegetables, fruits with a sharp knife. A blunt knife does not work here. Why does this happen? Think, students. A sharp knife has a very thin edge to its blade. A sharp knife cuts objects better. Due to its very thin edge, the force of our hand falls over a very small area of the object, producing a large pressure, and this large pressure cuts the vegetables easily. On the other hand, a blunt knife has a thicker edge. A blunt knife does not cut an object easily. Due to its thicker edge, the force of our hands falls over a larger area of the object and produces less pressure. This lesser pressure cuts the vegetables with difficulty. Therefore, it is easy to cut vegetables and fruits with a sharp knife. The force exerted perpendicularly on a unit area is called pressure. This is the definition for pressure, students. Once again, I'll repeat. The force exerted perpendicularly on a unit area is called pressure. We have the formula for pressure. Pressure is equal to force upon area on which the force is applied. Unit of pressure. The SI unit of force is Newton, indicated by the symbol N. Area is measured in meter square. Therefore, the SI unit of pressure is Newton per meter square. It is also known as Pascal. In atmospheric science, the unit for pressure is bar. 1 bar is equal to 10 raised to 5 PA. Pressure is a scalar quantity. If area increases, pressure reduces for the same force. If area decreases, pressure increases for the same force. You all can compare these lines with the example which I just now gave you all regarding the sharp knife. We all have seen a camel. Due to natural adaptation, the bottom surface of camel's feet are broad. Hence, the camel's weight is exerted on a large area and the pressure on the sand is reduced. This is why camel's feet do not penetrate into the sand and it becomes easy to walk. Now let's learn pressure in solids. Air pressure is exerted on all objects kept in air. When a weight is kept on a solid, pressure is exerted on it. This pressure depends on the value of the weight and the contact area between the two. Now we'll understand this with few examples. Use your brain power. You must have seen a vegetable vendor carrying a basket on her head. She keeps a piece of cloth on the head below the basket. Why does this? How does it help? Think, students. By placing a twirled piece of cloth on the head, a vegetable vendor increases the area of contact of the basket with her head. Since the load now falls on a larger area of the head, the pressure on head is reduced and it becomes easier to carry the heavy load. We cannot stand at one place for a long time. How can we sleep on a place for about 8 hours? Think, student. When we stand at one place, only our feet are in contact with the floor. Due to this, our weight falls on a small area of the place, producing a large pressure. On the other hand, when we sleep on a place, then our whole body is in contact with the place. In this case, our weight falls on much larger area of the place, producing much smaller pressure. Therefore, we cannot stand at one place for a long time, but we can sleep on a place for about 8 hours. For skiing on ice, why are long flat skis used? Skis have a large area to reduce the pressure on the snow. This ensures that the skis do not sink into the snow. Therefore, for skiing on ice, long flat skis are used. Now the next one, pressure of liquids. To understand this, we will perform some activities. Activity 1. Take a plastic bottle. Take a 10 centimeter long piece of a glass tube on which a rubber balloon can be fitted. Warm up one end of the glass tube and gently push in the bottle at about 5 centimeter from the bottom. To avoid water leakage, apply molten wax on the side of the glass tube. Now fill water slowly in the bottle and see how the balloon inflates. What is observed? The pressure of water acts on the side of the bottle as well. Activity 2. Take a plastic bottle, pierce it with a thick needle at the points 1, 2, 3 as shown in the figure. Fill water in the bottle up to full height. As shown in the figure, water jets will be seen emerging and projecting out. The water jet emerging from the hole at the top will fall closest to the bottle. The jet from the lowest hole falls farthest from the bottle. Also, jets coming out from the two holes at the same level falls at the same distance from the bottle. What is understood from this? At any one level, the liquid pressure is the same. Also, the pressure increases as the depth of the liquid increases. Next we have is gas pressure. If a balloon is inflated by filling air by mouth, it inflates on all sides. If a pinhole is created in the balloon, air leaks out and the balloon does not inflate fully. It is realized that, like a liquid, gas also exerts a pressure on the walls of the container in which it is enclosed. All gases and liquids have a common name, fluid. Fluids in a container exerts pressure from within on the wall and at the bottom of the container. A fluid enclosed in a container exerts its pressure equally in all directions at a point within the fluid. I hope you all understood whatever I tried to teach you all. We will continue the next part of the lesson in the next video. Thank you.